Hey, we welcome back to another live version of Dealer Confidential. I got choked up there because we got an exciting show here, and it's all about why you would need us. Why you would need us. We're going to pull the curtain back on dealer transactions with Joe and Paul and Greg, and it's great to have you.
Thanks, Hal. It's always great. And this is probably the most important show that a selling dealer and or a buying dealer could possibly listen to, right, Al?
Absolutely. And there are good reasons on both the sell side and the buy side. And we'll talk about both of those in this discussion.
So what is today's subject matter?
Well, the challenges that sellers face or buyers face and how the broker would solve those challenges is the best way to describe it. So it's the value add that a broker would bring in a sale.
Right. And we're going to be looking at the definition of a broker and the definition of an automotive transaction broker. So those are the two things we're going to be talking about today.
Sure.
And is absolutely critical. And I joke with everybody about it. The guy who says, hey, Joe Smith just sold my house, got me all the money I wanted. Now I have my dealership for sale. I'm going to let Joe Smith handle it. Okay. Absolutely not. Okay. And we're going to talk a little bit today about those pitfalls that a lot of selling dealers, and how you deal with them every day, a lot of selling dealers run into that pitfall. What do I need an automotive business broker for when I have whoever? Okay, let's start today's conversation. Al, do it.
Well, on the sell side, we'll start there. I think the number one thing, there's probably two or three number one things, but for me, it's protecting confidentiality. A broker is a safeguard against confidentiality, and you really don't want the sale to get out for a few reasons. Employee flight is a real threat. When employees find out a deal might be for sale, then they're going to start looking. They don't know what's going to happen, and so they're worried about their security, and they're going to start looking at other places to work. You also don't want to tip the competition off, because the competition is going to use it against you. Oh, you don't want to go down the street and buy from XYZ Ford. Didn't you hear that they're for sale? Who's going to take care of you for service? And you don't even, so suppliers, the list goes on. So confidentiality during a transaction or the process is number one. I guess the second thing I would say is you want to get the business valued properly, right? So a broker who knows how to put an accurate pricing estimate on the business and the real estate, for that matter. Somebody who's dealt with automotive transactions, they're unique. There's different conventions, pricing conventions in the automotive space. And a broker, one who deals in automotive especially, knows how to price the dealership. And you're not going to leave any money on the table when you work with somebody who's good at and familiar with and has done a lot of automotive transactions. You want me to keep going? I mean, professional packaging and being able to put the deal in front of the right buyers, right? The quality buyers, the ones that have the capital and the operational familiarity to be able to secure OEM approval. So we develop a teaser ad, as Greg knows. We'll put it out there. They won't know who it is or exactly where it is, but we'll tell them enough to get them interested. We'll give them some high-level financials, numbers of employees, etc. The deal will typically be pre-qualified for financing. They'll have to go through a checkpoint to find out who it is, with an NDA, with a personal financial statement, and with an interview from either Greg or I or Joe, making sure that they've got what it takes to be able to get through the OEM approval process. So qualifying buyers is a huge broker enabler. And then we get into deal structure and negotiation and managing the emotions of a sale, due diligence. I could keep going. The good broker quarterbacks the deal and enables the deal to get to closing.
Let's talk about the show as if our viewers are coming to us for the first time. We'll just deal with Hal and myself just right off the bat secondarily. Hal is on the sell side. That means that Hal is negotiating with the dealer who wants to sell his franchise and or franchises to another dealer or another individual. I'm on the buy side. So I bring the buyers to the table. Hal has the sellers, and all of a sudden we've got the perfect marriage. Hal and I are both licensed brokers. We're both real estate licensed brokers. So we share that in common with the broker that just sold your house. The other thing that we don't have in common with the broker who just sold your house is probably combined with all of us on this show, we probably have about 60, 70 years of automotive experience that no realtor or anybody else out there has. And that's what we bring to the table. We bring our licenses, we bring our broker license, we bring our 60 years of experience, both at the highest level of president and senior vice president levels of OEMs, and of course, owning our own dealerships in the past. That's what separates us from anyone else. So, with that in mind, I have to jump back to Joe because I sold Joe. I helped Joe buy a couple of dealerships in his past life. And Joe, give us some thoughts as to what went on, how it transpired, comfort level, all that wonderful stuff.
Well, to Hal's point and your point, the laundry list is extensive. We were on a different show that we went into some of the particulars in one of the specific fields of the business. But again, using that as an example, the reason you want to deal with someone like us is because we, first of all, been there, done that, understand it as well. And when you take that combination in total, that's what you want. Listen, there's a lot of organizations out there that do sell and buy dealerships for people. But to your point, Greg, earlier, some of them have never really sold a car in their life. So, and they don't understand the totality of how thick a deal can become and what to look for and what to protect the buyer from, what to protect the seller from. Hal said integrity, right? So that's where the integrity piece comes in, because you really are looking out for that buyer or for that seller. You're looking to do the best job for them.
Hey, Joe,
in that particular transaction.
Yeah, before we jump to Paul, I just want to, if you can, for just a few seconds, share with them the OEM experience. You and I had to jump through a couple of hoops for approvals from the OEM manufacturer when I brought that deal to the table and you were able to close it. Just share with us that experience, because very few people understand what, and Hal mentioned it at the start of the show, what is an OEM application for a franchise to purchase a franchise or sell a franchise.
So many guys get involved in wanting to buy a store. Maybe it's their first store, or maybe they're a used car operator that's very well to do and wants to get into the new car franchise world. It's a different ballgame. And if you don't have the relationships, number one, as you pointed out earlier, which is crucial. Number two, we're a full deck specialty operation. What I mean by that is that if somebody they want to buy a store and they don't know how to do a marketing plan, they don't know how to do a complete application, and these applications are extensive. I mean, they get really, really down to, it's like FBI interrogations,
Right.
They want to know everything about you. And it's important that you have someone like you, right? And Hal or myself that, now that I've done it for many years now. But with Greg, if I didn't have you at that point, especially my first store, it was my first store I purchased with you. So, I mean, that was, it was a little bit of a fight,
And you're still talking to him. Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah,
imagine that.
Yeah, we're still looking at this.
But the integrity, Hal was there. Greg was tenacious. Yeah. He was forthright with everything. I have a famous line: "Show me the good, the bad, and the ugly. I need to know all three."
Yeah.
It's okay, because the ugly, I've got to figure, in the bad, I got to just figure what to do next to protect that.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Paul. What have been your experiences on setting up? Because a large part of the dealer application, that's what Joe's talking about, the OEM application, dealer approval. A large part of it is IT. A large part of it is to the manufacturer. What are you going to do to secure my brand being the manufacturer, the OEM's brand? What are you going to do to secure this brand, since you are a new dealer? And, we'll talk about pre-owned dealers stepping into the OEM position in a second. But Paul, what experiences have you had with that?
Well, first of all, going back to what Hal said, this show is called Dealer Confidential for a reason. You don't want anybody knowing your business. I don't want anybody knowing my business, especially if I'm selling or buying something. Word gets out and all deals go sideways, or word gets out and you got 50 clowns calling you directly that are wasting your time. I've seen that happen. This guy wanted to save money, had a small dealership, and he just let it out there, and it was on LoopNet or something, and his life became miserable. So
he was thrown for a loop. Yeah.
Oh, yes, he was.
Loop the
I
loop.
think he's got ringing in his ears from it. From the IT side, what I've seen is you got to do prep work on the seller side. You got to prep everything because you have something of value that you've built. You have a knowledge base that ideally is recorded knowledge and not some guy who's going to retire and all that goes out the door with them. And how things operate, what your systems are. Ideally, you've got SOPs in place for every part of the division and every part of the process that you do. And then on the buyer side, you need somebody like Greg to rep you because you got to make sure that you're asking for every little thing that you need to know that's going to cover your butt to help you make sales, to help you grow. And if people, when they go in to buy, I've helped them prep a list. And it's like, oh, is this important? Yeah. Yeah, this is a key component of running your dealership. And if you don't have this, you're going to look the fool. It's even SMS texting. Do you know who your vendor is for the SMS texting? Do you know where their number's registered? Do you know what to do in case some guy gets a hair and starts complaining that you're spamming them? How do you protect yourself from that? That falls within our IT and communications purview. So we look out for those kinds of things for them.
Al?
Yeah, no, I mean, Paul's went through a nice list of buyer side broker advantages. The other one that I would throw on is just the broker's going to help you to avoid overpayment, right? He's going to be able to understand the true earnings value story of the store and make sure that you don't overspend on the pricing. He's going to find the right store for you. I mean, the right store may not be what you're thinking the right store is. From a geography standpoint, from a size standpoint, there's a lot of guys we get into, Greg, where we have to say, wait a minute, that store, that's too big a store for you. What do you mean? You don't have the money to buy that store. You don't have the capital, not just to buy it. You gotta put working capital in the store.
Run the store.
And as Paul said, and Joe mentioned it, you got a marketing, but you got to do a sales and profit forecast that's strong enough to get the OEMs nodding, but weak enough to keep your powder dry in terms of capital. Because you can forecast all you want on those S&Ps, but it's going to drive a higher working capital number if you do. So Greg and I and Joe and Paul, we know how to balance all those things out to make sure that you're paying the right dollars and you've got the right capital lined up to be able to achieve something that you'll be proud of and that the OEM will approve.
Yeah, we've had an influx of independent car dealers, the independent subject being pre-owned, whether it's Highline or whatever, pre-owned dealers looking to become OEM dealers. And they just do not quite understand what's involved in doing that. I'll give it to you right now. It's months of paperwork, reports, profit and loss statements. They will look up every part of your body to find out who and what you were and who your friends are and who your friends are not. It is extensive. So don't believe because you have some money in the bank that you can buy an OEM franchise and, hey, I'm Joe Smith or whatever. I have, 6 used car lots and I do great. I want a Ferrari dealership, whatever. That ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
But we can help you make it happen. And the thing that we need to just explain to you is that it is not a tomorrow situation. All of us will spend literally months prepping you, both the selling dealer and the buying dealer, and everything for that OEM application, the OEM interview, the OEM afterthoughts. It is not a given. The OEM does not have to accept you. That is the main thing that a dealer who wants to buy a franchise has to understand. The OEM can pass on you. And we just had one recently, Al, right? That the OEM.
Yes, we did. We're still licking our wounds.
Yeah.
And I've seen plenty of guys with a lot of money. I'm talking a lot of money that, they I want to get in the car business. I hear it's good. And, the guy's worth 100 million, 200 million, and he's got different businesses. And all of a sudden he wants to become a car dealer. Doesn't get approved.
Yeah.
Does not get approved. And they're beyond themselves saying, they're insulted. Very insulted. How, I can buy this place 10 times.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do. The money is one very important aspect, without a doubt. But beyond that, the manufacturer's looking for an operator who's got experience. And to your point, Hal, and when you give that sales report, how good is your sales report? Did you really dig into it? Did you really crunch the numbers? Did you look at the geography of your location, your output and your input, and all the things that we know and we do every day?
Yeah.
And that's what makes the difference. so that we can make representations that are really proper for the buyer or for the seller. And last comment to Hal's point, market-driven price. Listen, today this brand is really strong and getting all the money, and you have to pay more for it because, right now it's a hot brand. 3 years ago, they were giving them away, and vice versa. Now you're trying to buy another one that you're buying cheap because it's on a downslide right now. So those are the things. Those are the things to consider and to understand.
Yeah, let me give you an example of what Joe's saying. So, all things being equal, a Ford store, would you rather have a Ford store in Texas or would you rather have a Ford store in California? All things being equal, same revenue, same profit. You're going to pick the Texas store because it's 50% trucks, and Ford's strong in trucks in Texas. So the value of the Ford dealership, even on paper, with everything else being equal, is stronger in Texas than in the import market where Paul hangs out, where there's 80% imports, Hondas, Toyotas, etc. So the segmentation of the market can actually influence the value of the store that you're looking at. And these are the kind of granularity items that Joe is just referring to that we deal with every day. So that's why you want to be careful. When you do this, you want to have a knowledgeable, trusted, Joe used the word integrity. It's a big thing. We do what we say we're going to do, and we tell you the truth. And it's that truth that'll set you free.
Right. We're almost at the time of shameless plugs, dealerconfidentialpodcast.com or dealer-confidential.com, either one. Also, we have gotten a slew. Hal, you too. We've gotten a slew of people who want to advertise and become part of the show. We would love to have you as part of the show. So please go on the website, log in, send us an email, send us a text. We'd love to bring you on as a sponsor, or participating sponsor. Dealer Advantage has done great. We've had them in the past. They're done great. They want to come back on. We want to give somebody else a shot at this thing. So please, if you have a product, if you have service, please go on the website, tell us who you are, and we'd love to talk to you about that service. Last thing, the reason why you deal with us rather than even other automotive brokers is our experience level. Some of these automotive brokers out there maybe have sold real estate or whatever. All of us have actually sold cars. We've owned dealerships. We've at the highest level of the OEMs, as we mentioned before. We know the automotive industry, and that's important, both on the retail side, wholesale side. And that's going to be the most important thing to you, Mr. Dealer Wannabe or Mr. Dealer Celebrate. That's the most important thing, is dealing with people with experience, and we have it. And I'll just end with that one note, Hal. Remember, the dealer said, well, what do I need to get an environmental impact study for? Yeah, that really went well for him, didn't it? Well, yeah, that's the kind of stuff that most realtors or most non-car people will never think about asking on what the status is. But that's one of the first things on our questionnaire. Oh, yeah, by the way, we actually send out, a 20, 30-page questionnaire to our clients, our prospective clients, before we take you. We want to know everything about you. We want to know not only the money, we want to know your reputation. We want to know what you did in high school. Did you cheat on that exam? Did you get an ace? Or you saw salvatorian, whatever? We want to know everything about you before we represent you. It's a serious business. We are all of us are putting our reputation online every time we speak to an OEM about a prospective buyer or a prospective seller. We're not going to jeopardize that. Maybe your local real estate broker doesn't care. We care. We care about you, and that's what we want to do. Paul, close it out for us. What are your final thoughts?
The shameless plug, dealer-confidential.com. You're going to get personal attention. The big guys you're just a number. The small guys that have never done this before, you're wasting money, you're losing money, you're not going to get what you need. So deal with Joe, Greg, and Hal, and you'll get the best deal you can.
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Sounds great. Thanks, everybody. Great show. This show will continue. It's the backbone of our industry, and we're here to help. So let us help you put that together.
Thanks, guys.
Good stuff.
Thanks,
Take care, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Cheers.